A small business owner with zero sales training closed $47,000 in new deals in 30 days by doing the exact opposite of what most salespeople do. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. If you're in business and you don't have a reliable, repeatable sales process, you don't have a business. You have a stress machine. Every month is a flip of a coin. You're chasing leads, you're following up with people who ghost you, you're discounting your prices just to close something, and burning out trying to keep it all together. Does that sound familiar? That's because most people were never taught how to sell. They were taught how to pitch, and pitching doesn't work anymore. In this video, I'm going to break down the simple, proven sales framework that top earners use to close deals consistently, without being pushy, without discounting, without chasing unqualified leads, whether you sell products or services or anything in between. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear system that you can start using today. All right, number one, most people fail at sales because they skip the most important step: understanding what the buyer actually wants. Here's a question. What's the number one thing that a buyer hates about salespeople? I can tell you what it's not. It's not the price. It's not the product. The number one thing that buyers hate about salespeople is this. It's feeling like someone is talking at them instead of listening to them. Think about the last time you walked into a store and a salesman immediately started rattling off features and benefits before you even said a word. What did you do? You probably backed away or you tuned out. Now flip it. Think about the last time someone asked you questions, really listened, and then said, "I think I know what you may need." That felt totally different, right? Well, that second example, that's the power of what's called discovery. It's discovery. It's a discovery process. They're going through discovery to discover what your problem is. One sales rep that I know went from closing 1 out of every 10 calls to 4 in 10 calls simply by adding 5 extra minutes of listening at the start of the conversation. She stopped talking about her product and started asking questions about the client's problems, and her revenue doubled in 90 days. And so here's the first takeaway. Before you ever mention your product or your price, spend some time asking great questions. What is the buyer struggling with? What have they already tried before? What does success look like to them? The more that they talk, the more you learn. So let them talk. The more they talk, the more you learn, and the easier the sale becomes. Number two, the words you use to present your offer is either making you money or it's costing you money. And most people are using the wrong words. You take 2 salespeople with the same product, same price. One closes 70% of their calls, while the other closes 20% of their calls. What's the difference? It's not charisma. It's not luck. The difference is the language. There was a software company that was getting a lot of demos, but very few conversions. They went through consulting and they changed one thing. They changed how the sales team presented the price. Instead of saying that the plan costs $500 a month, they trained the reps to say, for less than the cost of one lost customer, you'll never lose another one. And when they said that, everything changed. The price was the same, but it was a totally different framing. And the conversions went up 38% in the first month. See, people don't buy products. They buy outcomes. They buy the feeling of safety, the feeling of success, or freedom. And when you speak about the outcome instead of the feature or the benefit, the words land completely different. And so the takeaway here is, look at your current pitch and ask yourself, am I describing what the product does or what the buyer gets? Because there's a difference. And every feature that you mention should be translated into a benefit the buyer gets. and every benefit should be tied to something that the buyer already told you that they wanted. That's what's called value-based selling. And it's what separates average reps from top earning reps. All right, number 3, objections are not the end of the sale. They are the sale. And most people run away right when things are about to get good. Every time a prospect says, "Let me think about it," or "It's too expensive," most salespeople panic and they back off. But top closers, they lean in because they know that an objection is just a question wearing a disguise. A friend of mine runs a coaching business, and he used to hear, "I can't afford it." And he would immediately start apologizing and start offering discounts. He was leaving a ton of money on the table. And then he learned how to reframe it. And instead of defending the price, he started asking the question, "Help me to understand what you mean by you can't afford it. Like, what do you mean? Like, help me to understand, what do you mean?" And he asked them, like, "Is it the total amount that you're worried about? Is it the timing? Is it something else? Like, what do you mean?" And what he found out was 9 times out of 10, the prospect was not actually broke. The prospect was not really worried about the price. 9 times out of 10, they were either scared to commit or they were unclear about the value. And once he started having that conversation, instead of running from it, his close rate jumped from 22% all the way to 51%. So he was offering the same things, the same products and services, the same price, just a better response to the objections that he was getting. And so the takeaway here is, write down the top 3 objections that you hear the most. And then once you write those down, practice a calm, curious response to each one of those objections. Not a script, but a conversation. Have a conversation with them. Ask them questions. Why do you feel that way? What made you come to this conclusion? Ask them those questions because you want to understand the real concern behind the objection. And when you treat objections as information instead of rejection, the whole sales conversation changes and you stop defending the price and you start solving the problem. All right, number 4, following up is where most sales are actually won. And most people quit too early, leaving easy money behind. Did you know that 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups? 80% of all sales, and yet 44% of salespeople give up after just 1 follow-up or no follow-up at all. That means almost half of the people that are selling right now are walking away before the finish line. A roofing contractor that I came across was frustrated because his team was sending one estimate and then waiting. And he changed it, and he ended up he built a 5-touch follow-up sequence, just 5 touches. It was a text, then it was a call, then it was an email with the case study, another call, and then finally a final just checking in message. Nothing fancy, no pressure, just consistent professional outreach. And in his first month using that system, he closed 4 deals that had been previously gone cold. And those deals were worth over $60,000 combined. None of those customers had said no. They didn't say no. They just had forgotten and they got busy and they just forgot. And so that follow-up reminded them of why they called in the first place. And so the takeaway here is simple. Build a follow-up sequence and stick to it. Set a reminder. Use a CRM or even a spreadsheet or something to remind you, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And it's one of the most repeated phrases in sales for a reason. Because most people are not saying no, they're saying not yet. And your job is to be there when the not yet becomes yes. So let's bring this all together. Sales is not about being slick or pushy. It's about listening well. It's about speaking to what people actually want. It's about handling concerns with confidence and staying consistent with the follow-up. Those 4 things alone will take most people from struggling to thriving. If this video gave you value, do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these 4 things, which one of these 4 steps that you're going to start working on first. That's what lets me know what to make more of, what content to make more of. And it helps other business owners to find this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscription button, because I put out content like this every week to grow your business, to close more deals, and to build something that actually works. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.